Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdette's Newsstand, and I literally just recorded this video and my mic wasn't working, so I am doing it again. But I had planned on reviewing Heroes in Crisis. I woke up and I was excited. I love this comic, and I read it, and then I seen all of this crap going on Twitter about it. Oh my god, it's such a bad joke. Like, come on. I am going to review Heroes in Crisis in this video, so I'll put the timestamp down there in case you don't want to see all this drama junk. But I just find this hilarious that people get so offended about nothing. So the first tweet I seen said, "Everyone looked like a sad, objectified mannequin in Heroes in Crisis #4. It's one of the most disturbing comics I've read in a while, in a bad way." No, it's not. The art is absolutely stunning. No, what? I don't get this one at all. Like, next. This is the one that actually truly kind of made me irritated because it says, "The blatant sexualization of female characters in Heroes in Crisis, especially considering the context of the series and these panels, has frankly been disturbing and disgusting. I'm honestly disappointed that DC and the creative team behind this." Okay, so just some background here. The panel she's talking about, the first one is Batgirl. And it's the 9-point panels that we've seen this entire time. We've seen this from every character. And Batgirl stands up, and she's not really in the mood to talk, and she shows her entry and exit wound. That's it. That is literally it. She shows where she was shot in the Killing Joke. How somebody saw that as sexual is beyond me, but okay. And the second one was the Heroes in Crisis #7, the cover that got recalled. And I did do a couple videos about that, but oh lordy. If you see that picture, a picture of a dead Poison Ivy, and you see that as a sexualized thing, I'm pretty sure there's something wrong with you, not me, buddy. Like, because that makes no sense. They even changed it. They put a turtleneck on her and moved her leg, and ugh. It looks awful now, but it did look pretty before, and I honestly saw nothing wrong with it, but okay. And then there's this one. Remember the pulled Poison Ivy cover from Heroes in Crisis #7? Yeah, Karina, I do. Where the panel of Babs and Batgirls. There's a panel of Babs and Batgirl in Heroes in Crisis #4 that's just as bad. No, she's not in danger. More like sexualized trauma. Where did they see that? I saw her showing off her entry and exit wound. I saw nothing bad about that. I saw nothing sexualized about it. I saw her showing her trauma to a recording in part of her therapy session. I saw none of that. It makes no sense. Heroes in Crisis #4. Sexualization of trauma. Wrong. Objectification of women in contrast with the treatment of male characters. They literally show Superman in his underwear. So how can you say that in the contrast of the treatment of male characters? Yeah, that's total bullshit. But decomposition with literal empty copy-paste panels with heroes worrying about more about their egos than the slaughter in their own safe space. Yeah, there was a couple empty panels. There was. It showed oh shoot. Black Canary walking away. And it was like a fuck you moment. So how, okay. I know this is the one that gets me. Ugh. I know there is a fetish thing with the Killing Joke, but Heroes in Crisis goes a step further with that idea. Good art is not enough. It needs to have a story too. There's a huge story in Heroes in Crisis. Are you kidding me, honey? I will link my videos right there. But there's no story here. Yes, there absolutely is, and the art is absolutely stunning. Clayman does such a good job, but here's what I don't get. When was there ever a fetish thing with Killing Joke? Now, I know, I've read that. That's one, if not, no, I would say Death in the Family would be one. Killing Joke would be 2 as far as Batman graphic novels go. But, there is the open-endedness with Barbara Gordon about what happened with the pictures and, you know, when Joker undoes her blouse and everything else. So, okay. But when was there ever a fetish thing? Like, I never, ever heard that. This is honestly a first for me ever. Oh, What? Why? Why do you take it this far? Like, just grow up. Just quit trying to think of things to get outraged about. Let Babs be Bab. Let Ivy be Ivy and get over it. This truly cracks me up, though. This is absolutely so funny. So, this is going around. Hey, Poison Ivy fans, would you like to save Poison Ivy? Join us Saturday, Sunday. Wow, I can read. January 6th. And Poison Ivy fans unite as we politely ask hashtag save Poison Ivy by tweeting this. Dear Tom King and DC Comics, please save Poison Ivy. Let her grow and continue her heroic journey. Let me repeat that again for you. Her heroic journey. Oh my god. Okay, I like Ivy as an anti-hero in like Arkham Knight and some of the others. I do. I like her as like that. She's trying to save Gotham, but that's only because she wants to protect the Green. But she's not a hero. She's literally slaughtered and killed thousands of people. Her and Harley have killed thousands of people, but you know, let's help her on her heroic journey. Fucking morons. Have they ever really read a comic book? Like, okay. Now I am going on to my review. Okay, so my original video. This is Heroes in Crisis number 4 by Tom King and Clay Mann does the art. The cover is awful. I don't like it. I don't like the way Ivy looks. I like the variant though. I like that we get to see Aquaman and his loss of his hand. So that's really cool. I love these variants though. I really think the variant is the way to go with this because it's very cool. All of them have been very good so far. So we see Aqualad and he's drinking and he's like, hey, Teen Titans. You know, I'm not a huge Teen Titans person. So maybe that's why I didn't like this one near as much. But then we see Donna Troy walking down, you know. I don't know. She's walking in front of this graffiti and she just looks massive to me. I guess she is Amazonian. So we see her 9-point panel here. She's kind of just talking about whether or not Troy exists, and she's kind of sad about it. I don't know. I like I said, I'm not a big Titans person. I'm not a huge I like Donna Troy. I do. I like her in other things, but this is just, she's like, oh, does it exist? It doesn't. Some people say it does. Some people don't. I don't know. So then we see Wally and Batman, and not Wally. We see Barry. And they are trying to come up with basically who did this, trying to get to the bottom of it. And Barry's like Booster, and Batman's like Harley's, and they're like, shit, we don't know more. But we get to see Wonder Woman put the lasso of truth around Booster. And so far, everything, and I thought the way he had acting, the like very weird thing in his personality was just being very off. Everything about him was off. He was so confused. But he seems to be telling the truth. He sees it as Harley has done everything. And with the lasso of truth around him, like, I mean, you gotta believe him. He is telling the truth, I guess. I don't know. I'm still not quite sure. But at least for right now, it looks like he's kind of out of the water with as far as being guilty. So we see Lois. And I don't know how many of you read her comic, but she did in the last one get some information. In the last Heroes in Crisis, she got some information about the Puddlers. And in her comic, she was able to take that a little bit further. And she was able to make an article about, an exposition about what was going on at Sanctuary. She did get the tapes that were the recordings, you know, of Clark saying, I'm Clark Kent, I'm Superman, I'm Batman. You know, all those cringy recordings. She has those, but she didn't release those. And we see her in bed with Clark, and they're kind of just talking about, you know, she's not going to release the tapes, but this is the news, you know. And if they're going to talk about sexualization of characters, come on, he's sitting there in his undies, like, okay, anyway. So then we see the Batgirl scene. And she's sitting there and she stands up and she shows her exit wound and her entry wound. That's it. That's all that's about. And she looks good. I love the way Clay Mann draws her. She looks amazing. And we follow her to what I think is a club. I'm not really sure where they're at. But, and Harley's there. And I love her in her animated costume, her animated series. I love that they use that in this. And they say hello and immediately start fighting. And you know that, like, old nursery rhyme where it's like, 1, 2, tie your shoe, 3, 4, shut the door. And Harley does that, and she's like, 1, 2, gonna get you, 3, 4, hit the floor. And then they did that in the first one. I like that they carry over that goofy personality bit with Harley, because we don't see that near as much anymore. I feel like Tom King writes her as Harley 10 years ago more than he writes her as Harley now, and I like that, because Harley used to be my favorite, but they get into it, and then we get the probably worst scene in this whole comic, where Harley's going to punch Batgirl, and they're kind of like talk it through, and then she starts holding her hand, and then they end up hugging, and she's like, "Aw, hi Harley, how you doing?" No, that doesn't happen. That's not how this works. I hate that. It's so cringy. And we finally get to see, I don't know, I don't like how they went through that. I get it, it's supposed to be, more about your feelings and more about, that's kind of how this comic was written. Yeah, I get it. We're talking more like the PST, the post-traumatic issue, No, I don't like that. That's just weird. Anyways, we get to see Green Arrow, and we get to see Black Canary, and we get to see them kind of looking over the sunset. And this is one great thing about Clay Mann, is the way that this is drawn. We get to see that beautiful sunset, and the way that it is shadowed on them just looks absolutely stunning. And then Black Canary is in these 9-panel spreads, and she's talking to the camera, and she's basically gives the best answer I've seen so far, and she's just like, fuck this, and walks away. I love it. I feel like that is actually real. I feel like that is more real than most of the spreads that we've seen so far. Then Booster is in the Hall of Justice. So Ted Kord goes and pays him a visit. And he's basically saying that the lasso of truth did say, that he's innocent. He didn't do it. And Ted Kord is my favorite Blue Beetle. But I do like Jaime, but I like that this bromance that they're bringing back between them, or at least showing. And he's like, bros before heroes. And he gets them out of there, breaks through the Hall of Justice, and they take off. I love it. I love that scene. It's really nice to see them have that interaction. And then it says an hour ago, and we are in the Batcave. And Wonder Woman realizes that that he has escaped, and she hits over the giant penny, and because she's pissed, she hits it. And then Clark's like, I need to tell you guys something. And Batman's like, oh, maybe I should hide the dinosaur. I like that. I think that's cute that they added that little bit of humor in when it is going to be something serious. So basically he tells him about the information that Lois has been getting, just basically that she's going to write this exposition. Not only has she going to write it, but it went live already. And that's why he's sharing it. And Batman's pissed. He is not happy that he didn't tell us, because he's known this information for a few days. He says we could have been investigating. We could have been doing something about it. It basically, he justifies as it falls under the veil of, they're married and they report the news. That's their real life. That's their real job. So he didn't have to. I don't know. I kind of agree with Batman on this one. But we do get to see a little bit about Sanctuary, and it's just the article from the Daily Planet. It's really nothing new, no new information. But as this comic kind of starts to end out here, we see Batgirl and Harley, and Harley's being her goofy ass self, and she's like, what'd she say? The dynamic, I don't know, duo. The dynamic duo, let's just call it that. And that's when Batgirl realizes that everyone knows about Sanctuary, that this has went live, and the world knows, and nothing's going to be the same again. And she says, nothing is going to be the same after this article. And Harley's like, okay, good, fuck the world, it needs changing. And that's where it ends out. So I know everyone hates this. And you know what I hate? I hate all this Young Justice style H for Hero at the end. Like, there's just too many panels. I don't care. But I do like that they put with utmost respect for our distinguished competition, Excelsior, in memory of Stan Lee. I love that. I think that's great that they finally are doing something about that. But I like this comic. I do. I really think it's very well done. I like the story that it's telling. I like the direction that it follows. And I like that it includes so many characters. We're getting to see a really nice story unfold. And I know there's only 5 left, so I don't know where they're going with this. But not only is it affecting Heroes in Crisis, it's affecting Lois, it's affecting Batgirl. It's really kind of affecting just everybody in the DC universe. So I'm seriously wondering if we're going to see Booster with his time travel abilities or Psycho Pirate or just something. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I'm really enjoying this run, and I think we get another one at the end of January too, so I will definitely be covering it. Let me know what you think about the Twitter crap too.